Okay, good morning, everyone, again. So we are continuous on the book of Kadam. Then the last chapter, second last chapter, which is the 22nd. And that 32nd chapter talks about the seven, the richest qualities. So we finished the seven rich qualities, that first three, right? Now this is the fourth one. Yeah, I was actually talking about the shameful and concerning others. Concerning others. Yeah, there's two words there. Shameful and concerning other. Sometimes people translate as embarrassing, right? So I will use the term that shameful and concerning other. So before we understand that, good morning. So maybe better good to know also shameless and lack of concerning other. So let's say first we can talk about the shameless. So that both regarding the Buddhist, what we call Buddhist psychology, uh, this is the mental state. The shameless and not concerning other is both are the mental state, and also it's a non-virtuous mental state, completely non-virtuous mental state. And then so it's um, let me read the definition of shameless and then not, lack of concerning other. This is from the Compendium of Knowledge, which is Asanga composite, one of the Indian Pandit around second or third centuries. He says, "What is shamelessness? Associated with the attachment, hatred, or delusion. It is to not shun, how we can spell shun? Shun, wrongdoing for the sake of oneself. It's a function to assert all the root and secondary mental afflictions. So that's shameless. The shameless, it's more associating with one of the mental afflictions, the root, right? Either maybe the attachment or hatred or ignorance. That's only the shameless, only the associated with these three root mental affliction. Therefore, it's turning. Therefore, we said it's completely non-virtuous. And then it's also lead to increase or the manifested all these mental afflictions with a root mental afflictions or secondary mental afflictions, or sometimes it says negative emotion instead of mental affliction, right? So the mental affliction, if we look at the Buddhist psychology, we count it like a six root mental afflictions and 20 secondary mental afflictions. I can count it here to six root mental afflictions. Six root mental afflictions based on this three mental affliction, and we count it like a doubt, and then and then pride, and then wrong view. Those six are the root mental afflictions. Every negative emotion actually driven by associating with these six. The six are, or another way to say, different aspect of the one of these six. The what we call the secondary mental affliction, right? 22 all the 22 secondary mental afflictions so far counted, but more than it. So 20 secondary mental afflictions are different aspect of with the aspect of the one of the root mental afflictions. Like, for example, we say anger is the secondary mental afflictions, but it's also as one of the aspect of the hatred, which is the root one, right? And then stinginess is the secondary mental afflictions, but also it's one of the aspect of the attachment, right? Yeah. So this kind of things, the root mental affliction, why we call root, because every other negative emotions are uh, uh, aspect of one of these, or it driven by this six root, right? So therefore, it's called six root manipulations. So therefore, shameless to associating with one of these three poison, and then also it's leads the all the negative emotions. So therefore, it's called uh, what call it's a non-virtue, right? And then maybe better, maybe further elaborations that shameless is we can say for your own benefit. You're not um, concerning your reputations. You're not concerning your own like a future goal establishing or so on so on, right? So that's the shameless. Or also say that you for your own benefit you do everything what you want to do. It could be the shameless, right? So there are so many things we need to be take a boundary in associating with the accompanying with the other beings, right? So and also that these two shameless and lack of concerning other, these two mind is the having whenever what called it caused by lack of moral ethics. So once you have a lack of moral ethics, or it makes you lack of moral ethics, is but it is also arises from lack of moral ethics. People who have a more lack of moral ethics, they do have more shameless, right? And then also as a not concerning other because of lack of moral ethics, right? So therefore, good morning. Therefore, both uh, these two negative emotions is what we call uh, yeah, okay. But in our daily life, we use shameless, and then like I say, we say sometimes what a shameless. That you have to think which context you are saying that shameless. Sometimes it goes wrong, which is not necessarily shameless, but we feel it's shameless because it's as associating with ignorance and some other attachment and hatred that always change our perspective to wrongdoing, wrong thinking because of associated with the mental affliction, right? So um, let's say um, how we describe the person is not so okay. I'm thinking my words because of my English. Um, okay. So anyhow, I'm not not know that words. Anyhow, that's the shameless. We might be have a different meaning of that, right? In our daily life, how we use shameless means, and then not concerning others means, right? Um, the let's say uh, for example, you have the stomach painful, right? And then you fart. It should be the shameful or what is shameless or what? What do you think?
I think it depends on the context.
Right?
Yeah.
We think it's shameless.
Yeah, if you're around other people, then yeah, you should, you shouldn't do that just because it disturbs other people. But if you're by yourself, then
Yeah, so there are even not fault. We are many different. Our regular attitude actually disturbing people anyhow, right? Where to say, where to see, where to look at, where to attitude. There's a lot of disturbing people anyhow. The fault is that we consider as a should have a shame, even shouldn't fall, is shameless. Uh, I think it's not shameless because it's one of sick. We have a stomach pain, right? The problem with the stomach. So, but we are considered this is the shameless, but the lying we not consider as a shameless, right? So, and then not respecting others we not consider as a shameless, and also we're called yeah we are. Yeah, what's here is yeah same. Okay, say here. From if one has no shame, it does not have the cloth of what called conscience. Even in worldly terms, he is woeful. Even his neighbors disparage him. If he does not treat his father as a father, we consider shameless. So it does not treat his mother as a mother, and it does not respect the elder as elders. What more? What called? Righteous behavior is the there than is like a lunatic. He would steal, rob, and deceitfully occur, engage in a meaningless speech, and use diversions. Here's it. Not does not treat father as a father, and what it really means is. Um, Basically, it's saying what you have a responsibility as you are a human being, and what you have a responsibility as your children's, what you have a responsibility as your parent as well. And then, that as each, we have a each level like a brother, sister, and parents, children, teacher, student, each has their own responsibility. But if you're not taking your responsibility, that the essence point saying is shameless, right? So then there are a lot of things we need to count it. But here we in general what we're thinking is as well as I receive benefit, I don't care, right? So as well as I gain, not lose, I gaining it, then I don't care. I don't care who is my father and I don't care who is my mother as well, right? And so on and so on. So that's really shameless. But most of people are considering it's smart, right? The smart that you try to get whatever you needed. You are smart. That's really lack of moral ethics, right? Not really smart because you're not receiving own benefit as well as not others. So therefore, should consider as a more the shameless. And then I'm not remember like, what usually we use for shameless. I have to pick up one example, right? And then we can discussion on it. So what do you think? What do you use to usually the shameless? Right. It takes me time to understand and remember it. um,
Geshe,
uh-huh.
can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, so sometimes we witness shameless behavior,
Uh-huh.
but I would like to know what is the antidote for not becoming angered when we witness uh, shameless behavior. So in Florida, for example, there are a lot of old people.
Mm-hmm.
And then the salespeople, who are whatever they're selling, a new roof or a car, whatever, they take advantage of the
Yeah.
old people. And
Mm-hmm.
it's to me, it's like a crime. And but I also know anger is one of the poisons. So how do we cope with that?
Oh, okay. For your own reducing anger, that we
Yes.
yeah, maybe better we can think this is one of the common action of human beings, and then it's out of our control, and so on, so on. That's we thinking will be help us to not have anger, because thinking is the common. Uh, I cannot say it's nature, but looks like it's the nature, right, of of most of human beings. The innately there, those thoughts are like we are sometime we are not knowing really what really we have to establish our own benefit. So the benefit direction goes wrong, then that taking advantage everything that we think, oh, I'm gaining. It's more self-centeredness, right? So as well as whoever have the mind of self-centeredness always goes react like this. So maybe sometime minus, sometime bigger, but it have something like that. Every single human being or the other beings, whoever have a self-centeredness, they will act that. Therefore, thing as this is one of the common in nature. And then why should I have anger? The Lashani Deva said, um, once you touch to the fire, it burns your hand like a hand. Then should you have anger on fire, right? So answer is no, because the heat is heart is the nature of the fire. That we shouldn't have anger when we touch it, right? So similarly, if this is the one kind of like a nature of the human being, then we knows they do that, right? So then why should I have anger? That's kind of things you think and reduce your anger. Is this help?
Yes, thank you very much. I mean,
Yeah.
because we're living in a time now where there
Uh-huh.
is a lot of shameless behavior all around us and even in our government. So it can be very challenging, but yes, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, huh?
She has a question.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Geshe.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm curious to understand because when you're talking about shamelessness, something that came to my mind was the idea of entitlement.
Okay.
And I'm curious to understand what the distinction is, knowing that we have the physical body that we're living in right now.
Uh-huh.
What is the line between self-acknowledgement or self-care in a way that's supportive to our capacity to move forward in the practice in being able to support and help others? What is the line between considering self enough to be able to continue that trajectory and moving into that shamelessness, self-centeredness? What does that line look like? Does that question make sense?
Uh, Let me see if kind of like understand. What is John you say?
I mean, my thought is if you're not hurting others, having compassion for others. If moving forward causes harm to somebody else, then that's probably the line.
And
Yeah.
there's like the Buddha left his wife and his kids to go become enlightened. So sometimes it is like taking steps that might hurt people in the short term, but if it's the end goal is the lack of attachment, the lack of desire, the lack of, maybe attachment to self even, then sometimes those seemingly maybe on a short term selfish attachments are actually more beneficial. Like if you're like, hey, I can't hang out with you, and you go meditate, that maybe someone will get upset.
So like a karmic hierarchy, basically,
Yeah.
is looking at the imprint. Is that?
Yeah, kind of like looking at what is going to help in the long term, not the short term.
And that you might have to take the cost of whatever you plant,
Mm-hmm.
but that the goal is to take the most compassionate choice. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's the things. And then before you do that, I think these two, the opposite one, the shameful and then concerning other, is the very basic fundamental of the becoming the nice person and gentle person and secure yourself and protect others. This is because moral ethics as moral ethics is the basic fundamental for everything as like a general, so which we covered last time. So therefore, this too is really lead the good moral ethics, shameful and the concerning others. So that right now we are talking opposite one, but this two mind, which is the positive one, virtuous mind, which is shameful and concerning others, it's very fundamental of to do like a having peaceful in life to yourself and others. Yeah, because these two makes you good moral ethics. So therefore, I'm always thinking for kids, we should talk more on that, right? So there's shameful and then the concerning others. Sometimes we say you are failed, you are shameful. I mean you are shameless. So not really think that, right? So then sometimes the kids goes to the school and then when they come back with some kind of what we call the bullying, other bullying, and not fight back. So then it's just you are shameless or you are not strong. This kind of advice is very dangerous in our future life for children, and then it's caused big in effect in our world, right? So therefore, we should more educated about the shameful and then the concerning other is very fundamental, basic. So and then based on that, we can generate compassion. If you do not have this, I think it's almost difficult to generate compassion and be kindness to others. It's difficult. So. Therefore, yeah, we have to more know clear that how it's difficult, right? So, uh, therefore, I will come back for the shameful and then concerning other. So let me finish that. The shameless here also one of the Indian pundits saying, knowing that what is your quality and capacity, and then knowing that what your knowledge is, and then knowing that what your positions and who you are, but still you are harming to yourself to taking any actions. Let's say, okay, yeah. Any action means more like you are taking the negative actions, right? Lying and like I say, harsh word or so on and so on. So those most of the time we do in that's those actions we do in our life that many negative actions. So because of that, I think that we have lack of shameful or this is shameless. So therefore, shameless meaning here it says further treat further as a father means like you also say what it's saying is remember the other's kindness, right? Remember the other's kindness and value the value other, and then values the shameless, like having shameful is should be value to yourself. Then what we call, let me see, it's not becoming more clear. Mm, um, Okay, anyhow, as its definition said it here, it associated with the only negative emotion and it's also lead only negative emotion, the shameless. And then the feeling of shameless, I think it's your not thinking anything's in your future futures. You do at the moment something that you receiving benefit, you just do anything, right? So not concerning others in your future life, and not concerning you who are surrounding you. So that's the shameless, and also you based on that you act always negative actions. Whatever you take negative actions, that's shameless, right? Killing, lying, or like the attitude of anger, whatever action that leads by the negative emotion, it's goes to negative actions, right? So those negative actions, whenever you attitude or act like a negative actions, That's driven by the shameless, and then we should consider as a shameless. Like say, yeah, what a shame that I lied. But sometimes we're not thinking because we received a lot of benefit, right? So therefore, we think we are proudly say, "Oh yeah, I gained something, I win something." But actually, sometimes we should know what a shame that I deceived to others to having these things. This kind of things we have to consider, right? Shameless, right? So, but basically, again, I go back to say that if you keep your moral ethics very well, because makes you the shameless. What we say sometimes is a gentle person. The gentle person is always like a okay, now. So this is the shameless, and then what's saying the concerning lack of concerning others. So shameless more refers to yourself, right? So your own benefit, then you are not thinking your future. You do every actions. Most you do negative action based on your benefit and not thinking the other, not your future. It's harms to you, right? It says here. Even you say even his neighbors disparage you, and then even the worldly terms his woeful. It's everything is harms to you, right? If you like for example, do you take any negative actions, lie or so on, it's caused you harm, and then you lose your reputations, right? So but we always try to protect our reputation. But if you have a shameless, then you are you cannot protect your reputations because your mind more focused on the what you receiving benefit, and then other actions what happening in future never thinking that, right? Then you do it. That's really harms in our daily life. Therefore it's counted non-virtuous. And then the concerning others he's a non-embarrassment. What is non-embarrassment? Associating with the attachment, same, but it's in to not shun or wrongdoing for the sake of others. So sake of other means like say if I do this action, it might be cause to lose my parents' reputations, my country's reputations, right? And then like such as my friend's reputation. You are more concerning other than mine. That more you are more concerning other than you are resenting to some kind of negative action. That's having the concerning mind. Once you have a concerning other mind, that will help. If you lack of concerning mind, you don't care that, right? So most of the time, actually, we don't care what happening in the what happening with the others, because we are not that much thinking and focusing how I cause them to harms, right? So therefore, to always concerning other, that would be good. This is the same that the associating with those negative emotion, and it's also driven a lot of negative emotion, but the difference is it's more concerning others instead of your benefit, right? Your futures, right? So that's the lack of concerning others. So now we go back to think the shame, the shameful, which is the opposite of that. The shameful. Sometimes it says here, it could be the taking your joyness or your the encouragement. Those it can be the disturb to have encouragement and joys to when you have a shameful, right? Let's say example. Okay. Hmm. Um, I let's take example that something when we have for example, okay, the royal family, right? The royal families, they're too much try to protect their reputations, right? I'm just taking an example. I'm not saying Okay, so this is most we understand, right? The earlier, the history where we look at that. So they try to protect, but we all, but this is we giving example you, right? So we to protect their family and themselves, right? As okay, I'm belongs to that royal family. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. But he really wants to do that, but as you're protecting yourself and your families, then you are resenting. At the moment, you're not really happy, right? But you have to do that. Way to eat, way to talk, then way to attitude in a person with the others company, right? Everything you are not openly doing it. You are doing a lot of pretending that you are nice, right? Once you pretend it, it's kind of like not joyous at the time, right? And then it's a more like it says a discouraging. Yeah, anyhow, so we can take that. It's not really joyous at the time, but still you're doing it, but exactly you're receiving benefit for doing that. So that's you can take example for to having shameful. So shameful sometimes is you are joyfully doing that, sometimes you have to do that, like say moral ethics, right? Sometimes we don't like to do that, like a lying and so on. So any negative action that we don't like to do that. Sometimes we don't have to do that, right? So when we say don't have to do that, then when you're considering that, okay, it's a bad, I'm not doing it. It harms to myself and it harms to others. So based on that reason, you try to resenting it. At the moment, your mind is not really joyous, right? But it's received the benefit. But in generally, the encouragement and joys, we need it. But it cannot, uh, that joys and encouragement not shouldn't be associated with any negative actions and negative thoughts, right? So, but we are one of the problem that we are looking more independence. Why you disturbing me to do that, or why you taking my right thing to do that? So those all saying because I wants to do whatever I like to do it. So, but you cannot do that, right? You cannot do that, whatever comes in your mind. One reason that why you cannot do that, because those thought and that lead it by one of the mental afflictions, then it goes wrong to both himself and others, right? The then the another reasons that you're on the peaceful life in the future, you are on benefit in the future, that you more think that than you resenting it, right? So therefore, we are not really independent as we are associating with others, right? Sometimes we think, yeah, one of my friend, he moved to the Thailand, and then he said, "Oh, my house is in the forest, no one there, and then I can always be there, whatever I like to do that." Right? So he said, "Oh yeah, I'm just cook negatively, and then comes out negatively. I'm computer using it negatively," but yeah, that's things that's how we are actually looking that much independent, but we're forgetting that after do that what habits building up in our thoughts, and then after that what that leads us the result, we all forgetting that, right? So yeah, we're looking independent, but that independent always take limitations. It has a limited, so we are not really independent actually, right? So, but somehow that we are just we can be free from some things, but the independent is too strong. Us maybe I can say we never have an independence. Are you taking this discouragement? But think the reason, right? So, but we can free from something. That's true, right? So, but if you really want looking the independent, then shameful and considering others the best, right? That makes you the independent. But other than our natural thoughts, our normal thoughts, whatever I like to do it because I want independent, that cause you not have independence. not freeing from any any suffering or any problem, right? So if you are more gentle and concerning other, and then also having shameful to yourself, and keep the moral ethics continuously, that makes you more independent, right? People, whether we call independent or not, so mostly we're seeking that peaceful life in our daily life, right? So that's peaceful life is led by that. So needed some cause and condition to having peaceful in own self. So then we have to know exactly what is the cause and condition to having peaceful life, right? So, but what in our natural thoughts, most of natural thoughts are wrong to bringing peaceful life. It goes the wrong directions. It's harms to our life and others, right? So, but you will, if you think, then you will know. That's how what I'm saying here. Otherwise, yeah, it's difficult to realize that that most of things what I'm doing is wrong, right? So the wrong regarding to having peaceful life that I'm saying, right? The which is we seeking it. So then you cannot do whatever you like it. More be a gentle. Then gentle is based on the concerning other and so on and so on. So therefore, and then instead of I'm reading all these things, I can let's see. Was summaries here. One said the difference between shame, shameful and concerning others. Let me read here. It says, this is a difference between shame and embarrassment. The shame shun wrongdoing out of the consideration or considerations for other self, thinking if I engage in this bad conduct, not only will it not benefit me as a person, either temporarily or long term, but it will also bring harm, so I must not engage in it. So that's the shame. You want me to read it again? Okay. Let's say, um, shame shun wrongdoing out of the consideration for oneself, thinking, if I engage in this bad contact, not only will it not benefit me as a person, either temporarily or long term, but it will also bring harm. So I must not engage in it. So anything that harms to yourself, anything that harms to other, shouldn't engage in. So that's the saying, shameful. And then embarrassment, shun wrongdoing out of the consideration for others, thinking, if I engage in this bad conduct, the holy ones will be the deeply concerned and other will be the disparage me. So it is not appropriate. These two mental factors are extremely important for ethical training. Beginners, especially, cannot do without a method for restraining non-virtuous mental factors. Maybe one of you read better this English here. Okay.
Where it says there's a difference between.
Yeah. That only that one.
There's a difference between shame and embarrassment. Shame shuns wrongdoing out of consideration for oneself, thinking, if I engage in this bad conduct, not only will it not benefit me as a person, either temporarily or long term, but it will also bring harm, so I must not engage in it. Embarrassment shuns wrongdoing out of consideration for others, thinking, if I engage in this bad conduct, the holy ones will be deeply concerned and others will disparage me, so it is not appropriate. These two mental factors are extremely important for ethical training. Beginners especially cannot do without a method for restraining non-virtuous mental factors.
Okay, so that's the difference between the shameful and shame, and then the concerning other. Then again, the giving example, what I give example the earlier, the royal family, and then or the other, the concerning other, we can say the the famous people in the world, how they like how they act in front of the public or their fan. So maybe sometimes pretended, sometimes natural, right? So, but anyhow, they are like try to protect their the good looks and reputations, and then therefore try nice to their fan and others followers, right? So at that moment, how mind and feelings there, as well as like earlier the royal family, how they protect themselves and in fact protect family at that moment when they acted, how their mind and feelings there. The similarly we need it in our daily life. You follow me? Okay, so so therefore the always restraining that any negative actions in your daily life to that's the one thing. Sometimes needs time to practice for that. Sometimes it's naturally there. You can easily restraining it. Sometimes difficult restraining it. Sometimes you might say, oh, there are no reason to restraining it because it takes my I'm not free to do that. It's not makes me free in our daily life. So there could be the few different reasons, right? So maybe if you have something that there are no reason to restraining that bad contact, right? If you have something that bad contact again, the bad contact and good contact, based on talking about that that which brings you the brings you happiness and peaceful life to self and others. Any contact brings you happiness, that's good, consider good, right? Any contact brings you suffering and others, and that's bad contact. So otherwise, general difficult to describe the bad and good. So this is the we say bad contact and good contact. Anything that harms to you and others. That's the bad contact. Anything bringing benefit to you and others, either long terms and temporarily, it's a good contact, right? So, but still not clear on that, it's not the yin yang. Yeah. Anyhow, that's in our daily life. If we really very much need to be the mindful and focus every single time when we talk, when we walk, when we are accompanying with others, how your attitudes looks, how what's going on in your mind. That's the first we have to think. What's going on in your mind at the moment? If you realize any that leading you have a shameless things or leading you have like then you should stop, right? And basically firstly, basically, we need to know all this, the bad contact. So far, with 10 non-virtues, this is not only the bad contact, and there are others. So we have to know any bad contact which is harms to you and others. Then time by time, try to restraining it. So and then as I mentioned earlier, so some are easily can restrain, sometimes difficult, but difficult need time to practice to think again and again and doing again and then it's be turning into your habit. Then since there's no problem to doing it. So the biggest obstacle is that we see no reason to do that, right? So do you have any thoughts that concerning bad contact? There are no reason to restraining it. It's taking my happiness or it's disturbing for my freedoms. Do you have any example of that?
I have a question maybe kind of similar, but not completely. How do you restrict shame turning into guilt? Like if you know, engage in a negative action, like today I was driving, a chipmunk hit me. I ran it over and I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. How do I stop that from just being like, oh, I feel so bad, that's something I should purify versus, oh, now I'm in complete guilt over it. And
Yeah, after that, we have to think it's an accident first, right? And secondly, yeah, something that we can do it for, but what we cannot do it, we cannot take their life back. We cannot do that. But we shouldn't too much worry for taking their life back. But they already take life, but based on that, what I can do it, or that we can pray, and then that you need after you pray or dedicating or purification, whatever you do, you need a strong belief that it's gone now, it's purified it, right? Uh, Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it's like if we have a lot of negative things, writing down on paper and then you pray it and burn it, then sometimes, oh, let it go now. It's gone now. So sometimes it's help. But basically, we need to be the confidence, believe that it's gone now. So that's not remaining the feel guilty long, right? So, and then I'm always thinking that the Shantideva line, is there something you can do it? No reason to, no worry. Something you cannot do it, no reason to worry. So that's a lot of helping me, right? So, therefore, but most of us, we are worrying that we shouldn't be worried. There are no reason to worry because sometimes we worry about the overthinking. We worry about with the overthinking, like what happening in the future, right? And sometimes, the, as you say, feel guilt what it passed. The both are no reason to worry. Right. So, and then more focus on your daily life and do it, whatever you want to do it, whatever you have to do it. That's the better accomplishment, right? So, yeah, that's the how I think to do it. Yes, please.
When we witness very shameful behavior, let's say in our own home with a teenager over and over and over, and it's affecting, the negative is affecting everyone else in the home. I mean, personally, very struggling with how to approach it with compassion.
Yeah.
All the time, and compassion, because witnessing self-destructive behavior to the person conducting that shameful behavior, and it radiates around.
Yeah.
And it's a very, I don't know the exact question.
It
I
looks
guess
like
how to protect other people around it and the person that's having this habitual behavior.
you're protecting when you try to let them have a shameful, or you try to not have anger when they act as shameful.
Anger, but also protect smaller people in the house
Oh, I see.
from witnessing, and so that that shameful behavior doesn't transmit to the younger people in the house,
I understand. Yeah.
so that it repeats.
Yeah. If we want to extinguish the fire, then we use more water, right? So the fire's there,
Yeah.
right? And then you should become a more water. That your actions, your thought, you always show to them as a good. But on the other hand, there fire there, right? So then it's influence bad. But we are very much worried that it's true. But sometimes out of our control, that things. So, and then based on that, based on understanding that out of my control, what I can do it, right? What I can do is, okay, my verbal actions, my physical action can, teach, influence, or inspire a lot. So therefore, your verbal and your daily actions is very much meaningful for them to influence. Yes.
I'd just like to answer that because you can't have a teenager that was worse than mine. I promise you. Promise you. And he had a younger brother, which there's really not that much I could have done with that. But what I learned to do, and believe me, it takes a lot of practice, is instead of engaging with him, which I always do, we always knock heads. If he got loud, I got louder, then he got louder, and it's crazy. I took a step back and said to myself and realized how much he was suffering.
Yeah.
He was suffering horribly. And I would always think this in my head. And like I said, believe me, it takes a lot of practice, and just try not to engage. I mean, sometimes you have to, especially when there are other children involved. But when you can, just take a step back and realize he's suffering. If it's a he, I don't know. But and that's how I distance myself from constantly having that anger there, and just realize how much he's suffering. And that helps a lot.
the perspective of
Mm.
that.
Yeah, it's part of your family, then it's actually difficult,
Yeah.
very difficult to control it, right?
It's in and out of my house. It's my 15-year-old New York City stepdaughter. So
Oh,
it's, you know,
oh, that's,
it's like it moves in and then
Yeah,
it moves out,
and
and
then
then
it
it moves in and then it moves out, and then it affects
everybody.
in a very inconsistent dynamic.
Yeah, that's hard. And
Yeah.
just in my case, my
Yeah.
husband, like, took a back seat to me.
Mhm.
So it was even more difficult
Yeah.
because we weren't on the same page.
Yeah.
With that, so it's practice, a lot of practice.
But sometimes what we're doing is we try to teach them when they become a teenager or grow up, after grow up, right? We are never try to like to make better person them when they're children's like a 1 2 year 3 years up to like a 10 years with too much love, and then whatever they need we giving it. We are thinking it's too much to talk about shameful and considering too much. It's too much to talk about compassion. I don't think it's too much, especially this generation people. The kids are very smart, right? They are smarter. This generation, the kids like 1 years compared to earlier generation, maybe like a 6 7 years. It's same. Their thoughts are. So this is worth to talk actually. That compassion, kindness, even the young children. Then as we hear these things, shameful, concerning other, all this really useful actually. And then action, non-virtuous actions, virtuous actions, very important talk because this after they go to school and go to college, the college school never talks these things, right? Never talk these things. So the only the parent or the some kind of group, the either religious group or some kind of spirituality group, you can join with them or they can talk these things, which is very important in daily life, right? So and then it's also not important in individual life. It's also important in future world too, right? So therefore, it's teaching compassion is there are no age limitations. Even this young age, we can talk compassion based on their language, and then grow up, we can talk compassion based on their language. So anyhow, we need to talk it. Yeah, yeah.
I agree with both of you. It's very difficult to see other people in samsara that we cannot help ourselves.
Mhm.
And they're stuck in their ways, and we see their ways because we see what we have to do to better ourselves as well in that context. As a special education and behavior analyst, a teacher, I too see my students stuck in those ways, and we want to help. And I think, like you said, compassion is what we can, but also that we have the non-self and we have that space where they can make those changes. There is an opportunity for them because we're not who we are. We change every second, biologically every 7 years. And that gives me the hope where even with those that I feel like, okay, they're stuck in their ways, but sooner or later they can come out of it.
Mhm.
And on top of that, I have a question for you. Regarding shameless, regarding moral ethics, where's the non-dualistic come into play with this? What's bad and what's good, and is bad good for some and good bad for others?
Yes, so far we counting the 10 virtues and 10 non-virtuous actions. But basically we have to know that in our daily life, we have to observe and find it out what really my behaviors and other behaviors do harms to me and others. Harms to means like taking my happiness or bringing more suffering into life. So any actions. So those it's better noted and then observe it and note it. That will be the better understand what really the things we should do or we shouldn't do it, right? So is this you asking?
So for example,
Uh-huh.
say I'm driving in a car
Uh-huh.
and someone has a stop sign and I feel like I want to be nice. I want to let them go.
Okay.
So I pause the brakes
Uh-huh.
and an accident happens in back of me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I'm letting them go and I feel good. But I caused an accident at the same time. Was that good to let them go? Or was it bad because I caused an accident?
I think it's as a red light, we follow the rule, right? And then after that, what happening is not your fault.
And the Buddha says that karma starts with the intention.
Yes, karma
So
start with
good, yeah.
intention. Yeah, there you don't have any intention to cause problem to your backside, to which is
Right.
accident, right? So and then as accident, so then because in our daily life, our whatever we do, there are numerous people that don't like. There are numerous people that like it. So they are not one action that we can make everyone happy. There are nothing there. So it's impossible that we can make everyone happy. But the line is that something that in general we consider what is the negative actions, bad contact, you restraining that, that's the only we can do it. So from yourself, restrain all this bad contact and try to follow as much as you the virtuous actions. And then it will be some people like it, some people don't like it, but still you are right, you are on the right things to do it. So you're not causing any problem to self and others. But if they see it as a problem, that's their problem, right? It's not our problems because we are on the right things. We are collecting at the right cause and condition to bring happiness to self and others, right? So I'm on the right street, but it's accident. They see the bad, and then what I can do? I cannot change my action. We shouldn't change our action that we think is good, right? If we change the action based on that we are harming others, then maybe we also goes wrong directions. So understand clearly that what is bad and good, and then always try to practice in our daily life. And then while we're doing that, then let's say when the horse run, sometimes it might be the pluck the good nice flower, but that's not wrong to do it. It's running. That's focusing on running, right? So therefore, while we're doing the good practice, and then some people who don't like it, that's fine, right? So there are so many things there, right? So when we talk compassion, there are so many people don't like the compassion, and then in our logic, when we think the reasoning, when we're contemplating on compassion, then we found compassion is the best to bringing happiness to self and others in society to the world. This compassion is the best. That's we strongly have a like an unmovable the faith, right? Then once we have an unmovable faith, there are many people that don't like the compassion. That's not my wrong. That's not my mistake, right? So I cannot change that. What is the best things what I'm doing right now because of you don't like it, right? Yeah, that's the how we need to go is actually. So I saw even the the family, some saying, I don't want to teach compassion to my children because if I teach compassion to their children, then when they go to school and then they always become a victims. Victims? Yeah, they always become a victims. They're losing and then other taking advantages to my children. Therefore, I don't want to teach compassion. There are many family think that, right? But they do not know how should talk to compassion and what kind of things they let have to think, right? It's not taking everything as a victim, the compassion, right? So, so that's their thing because they understand the roughly about compassion. They only think compassion is just be quiet, be silent, and then not take revenge, not fight back. That's that they know. Actually, all this wrong. All these are wrong. It's not the compassion. So compassion is more concerning others' suffering and then thinking how I can free from them for suffering. And then some actions, when you take it to free from them suffering, them I don't like it. But still, there are skillful way. If something that we are able to do it, sometimes we're not able to do it. So it's something that we're able to do it, then we do it even they don't like it, right? Who drinking alcohol, we're not giving alcohol for them. They don't like it, but it's good to do it, right? So, or maybe skillful way to stop them to drink alcohol, slowly make lesser and lesser, right? So we don't look at what they like it, what don't they like it, right? We are more look at what they benefit to others or not. That's how we have to follow it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so therefore now I don't found the exactly good example that usually what we use like a shameless. But when you are in daily life, when you use that, what a shameless. Please think what are you talking or what are you talking on, what topic, what context you're saying it, right? So and then find it out really is shameless or not. Sometimes we go a lot of wrong shameless. Sometimes which things don't need to be shameless. We don't It's not really shameless, but we think it's shameless. But we really have to be shameful. We don't think it's have to be shameful, right? So what a shame that you not fight back. That sometimes we said it, right? The four children. What a shame that you not fight back. So that's not really. I mean, like a yeah. What a shameless. Okay, sorry, I'm saying what a shameless that you not fight back. Sometimes are we using that
You said
kind of?
like how shameless. If you were.
How shameless, yeah. How shameless that you don't fight back. So you are not man, right? So that's how sometimes we say. So it's not actually shameless. It's smart. Not fighting back is smart, right? Intelligence. Um, so that's how we protect to self and world. But we consider it as shameless. That's kind of example. Whenever you use that the shameless or uh, then think what really contact going talking on it. So then think it is really shameless or not. So yeah.
That's just to understand, that's where like wisdom or skillful means would come into place. Like a child who doesn't fight back
Uh-huh.
because they feel bullied or guilty and they carry that with them,
Mm-hmm.
that's not that's not looking at it with compassion, right? That would be
Yeah, that's
a
not
negative
compassion.
guilt,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if the child has been taught in a way that they understand by not fighting back, I'm not perpetuating
Yes,
the
yes,
pain,
yes.
and that either I can step back in silence and hold it myself,
Mm-hmm.
or I can, with skillful means,
Mm-hmm.
say something to them to not perpetuate their causing harm,
Exactly, yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah.
But it's the skillful means of not meeting the wrath with, or the anger with anger,
Yeah,
and
definitely not.
violence with
Yeah,
violence,
definitely
right?
not. Yeah. So even we try to help them, still skillful means like how much I can do it or how much I cannot do it, right? So sometimes we try to help, and when we have a lack of wisdom, then it goes to wrong, right? When we try to help, and they get mad. Why you try to helping me? Do you think I'm weak? Right? So that goes wrong. That's sometimes we need a wisdom, always need a wisdom and skillful, whatever you take actions, right? So the usually I say that if you really genuine compassion, true compassion that if you cultivate, the wisdom is included there. But if your compassion is not the true compassion, then we need a wisdom and skillful at the moment. So anyhow, yeah, that's exactly I'm trying to say it. And then so the bottom line, it's actually saying the all the line we can read it. So the shameful or shameless, meaning that if you are thinking others value you always value for others, then you will concerning others. If you always value to yourself, then you will be a more shameful, right? So if you do not value to yourself, then you are shameless. That value is also the what associating with the what called um, the capacity of ourselves, ability of ourselves, opportunity of ourselves. That's kind of things I'm saying. Value. It's too broad. You understand, right? So okay. So yeah, that's two makes us to have a shame and then concerning others because you valuing other, right? If you not value others, you not concerning others. So the valuing others because we fight with our parents sometimes. and then each brother and siblings are fighting each other, right? So the special when the fight the parents, sometimes case comes like this. Why you take me in this, bring me this life? I mean, like, why you bring me in this world? Is this case something people talk? What your answer should be? What your answer should be then? Huh?
You say that again.
Why you gotta tie it, right?
Yeah, children are sometimes complain to parents. It's too much, right? Why you bring me this in this life, this earth?
Parents all the time because you don't know what is happening because you.
Oh, I see. What do you answer then?
What I answer, no, I complain to them.
You complain?
Why did you if I did something wrong or something, my father looked, I said,
Yeah.
it's not your fault because I didn't ask to the boy.
Yeah.
I was ignorance. It's my ignorance. My father just there's no answer. What is he gonna say?
Yeah, we did not hear this complaint the way earlier. Now this time we're hearing more and more because their mind is too like a not deep, not in the deep sense.
Yeah.
Always just well like a distracted. Yes, yeah.
I was just gonna say, the potential answer that came to mind when you asked that was that it's a hopeful opportunity to perpetuate more wisdom, that we can engage in this conversation and talk about what does it mean to sort of shift the sea change, right? To bring more awareness, to bring more wisdom, to bring more compassion. And that I don't know, this is just what came to mind when you bring them into the world. You know, it's a gift to each other to be able to perpetuate compassion and wisdom because I'm someone who cares, and by bringing or like, to hold that I'm someone who has compassion or is working towards virtue or working towards ethical morality. And if I can be someone that supports you in that and you can walk that path, then we can perpetuate more, because it is hard to answer that question.
Yeah. So the one of the like India, it's happened. Their children's complain. Basically what I'm saying is we're concerning who was kind to us, but when we're not kindness, they are not thinking. We are not thinking their kindness. That's the complaint comes, right? So you are bad. My parents are very bad. My parents are my worst enemy, and then why you bringing me in this earth? This kind of complaints comes. So question for why you bringing me this earth? So one of the father does like I said, I do not know because my father did not tell me that why he bring me this year. So ask to my father, your grandfathers, my father, and then goes, right? That's one thing. But what I'm thinking is, we bring them or they come to us? That's the question, right? So they come to us, they use our body, right? They use everything, and then why you use my body? Then that's
That would be mine.
right.
Man,
But it's not the good argument. But if we cannot control them, if we really need to talk to them, I am not bring you, then that is the best way to say, you come to me, I did not invite you. So right, so that's true, isn't it? Even regarding karma, when the Buddhists we look at the karma, they comes because we have a karmic connections, and not only the parents' karmic connections, the children's karmic connections, and their common karmic connections, all this comes together, then they born it. Basically, so how much suffering in an intermediate state being, which we call bardo, right? Intermediate state being. So we are protected them free from that bardo to like ran our house, the stomach, to give them a life. We protect them from suffering regarding Buddhists actually. It's not really bad, right? We are, otherwise, if we not like allow them to be a human being and is born, then it's clearly searching the house. There's too much suffering in Bardo's intermediate state being. So we protect it. So they do not know, but they don't they will not accept that, right? Because it's like a different ideas. But anyhow, they come to us. Yeah, they come to us. So therefore, sometimes yes, that my parents are worse in my daily life. Considering this one here, it's a shameless. Thinking this is shameless, right? But you might have 100 reasons why you are thinking my parents are worse, my worst enemy. But you forget another good reasons there, right? You forget some good reasons, very what their kindness. But you only the judge to them after you grow up, right? So before you grow up, you too much rely on them, right? Even the parents not there, and then you are scared, you lose, right? So, and then since you grow up, then you know there's many concept. Then you are. It's based on looking independent. Actually, it's a shameless. It's a lack of moral ethics, right? So it's a because of the children's shameless. That's that they forget completely their kindness. Then they say not treat father as a father, not treat mother as a mother. The treat means respecting based on understanding their kindness. But we totally forget their kindness, then how we will treat it? We never treat them. We will not ever respect to them, right? So therefore, the shameless. That's kind of the one example. And then maybe one time we just read it. That lot of I just picked it up. The common things are. Chapal, can you read for me? From yeah, I already read say like after that say he battery his kind parents. Yeah, he or she, right? Yeah.
He betrays his kind parents. Not repaying their kindness, he leads them to their downfall. He betrays his masters whom he has served. He may have performed 1,000 beneficial deeds, but inflamed once, his shamelessness will destroy all. What greater lack of conscience is there than this? Even among the worldly, such behavior is ridiculed.
Yeah, continues, please.
Forsaking the 7 riches, he seeks things that are not riches. He has no shame when indulging in deeds contrary to the Dharma, but in pretense of acting in accord with the Dharma, he says, I feel shame. You do not call someone who is destitute and has no clothes or food shameful, but deprived. In worldly, ignorant beings' sense of shame, urine and its pathways are shameful, but these cannot betray you. What is shameful is a lack of conscience. A lack of conscience leads you to pursue misguided ways. He who pursues misguided ways goes to the hells. Continue.
Yeah, please.
If you guard others' minds, you're wise in the sense of shame.
Mm-hmm.
If you honor those worthy of honor, you're wise in the sense of shame. If you care for those worthy of care, you're wise in the sense of shame. If you're sharp in repaying kindness, you're wise in the sense of shame. If you're strong in faith, you're wise in the sense of shame.
Yeah, this opposite are shameless. Then you have to think that. Yeah. Yeah, last part. Yeah.
Then Droma spoke, Master, why are you saying such things? If harmful clinging is strong, anyone can be let down. Our tradition and their tradition is prejudice. Too many T's and U's. Is that I's?
Probably eyes.
I think too many I's and U's leads to
Mm.
severe unruliness. If clung to, whatever you have clung to will cause downfall. If your prejudice is too strong, you should flee away. If it seems like clinging, you should forsake it and leave. Wherever you live, you should guard the precepts. Whomever you associate with should not forsake the Dharma. However you may act, mind training should increase.
Yeah. So now this is very clear. I think saying what is which we what is shameful means and what is shameless mean, right? And again, let me repeat one more time. Thinking others' kindness is shameful, or not thinking other kindness is shameless, and respecting to other as based on understanding their kindness is shameful. As not respecting others is shameless, and you taking your own responsibility is shameful, or you're not taking your own responsibility is shameless. So that's kind of, it's kind of summary that way. Yeah, right. Yeah, and then regarding the children, we're talking these things. Sometime, I have a many time issues in WestCon when I talk to, I cannot use the word that meditation. Someone will be complain on that, right? So they maybe they influenced by parents or they influenced by others' spirituality or their friends. I don't know. But this kind of example is really difficult to bring them to, like I say, the good qualities in their daily life because they blocked so many things. They are not open mind. Even the meditation word, right? So it's similar. Say, if you eat butter, they not eat it. Ah, disgusting. Then butter with the cookie, they eat it, right? So similarly, now we have to use the terms instead of meditation. We just say, okay, just practice. Then they take it. So that's skillful meaning it for children's. Sometimes the terms that cause the problem even here, I try to say this more. I'm talking the secular way, but my all the background knowledge is Buddhist, right? So I'm picking up from Buddhist idea to which is suitable for everyone, which is common things, which everyone can accept it. So that's secular, right? So that's kind of things we have need to be skillful when we talk to children. Yeah. So sometimes I don't know, they have a very bad idea. They totally block their minds. So when they hear the religious, then that totally no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. So they might have like a the blind faith, or they might have beautiful things there, right? Let's see what is there, because we do have a lot of curiosity, but when it comes in this kind of things, they do not have any curiosity, just blocked it. So therefore, shouldn't block that your mind, just open it, but accepting and taking into practice is 100% on your hand. You can take decisions, but just looking there, what is there, no problem, right? Just look it. So therefore, open-minded. Whatever terms you hear, that's fine. Just look it, and then even with this kind of things we can share to children. Just look at there, and then if you cannot decide it, talk to me. What you see is today, right? What you hear today, and then based on we do discussions. Okay, this what I think is good, or I think is not really good. We can discussion. Two young children cannot decide anything, but let them hear it. So and then come to discussion with the parents will be the good. So otherwise, we might lose a lot of beautiful things. Right? So, but it's true there like what called ethics, right? Who is not in religious, the ethics. They are very gentle and nice person. They are ethics who not believe to religions. They are naturally there, right? So which is things is good. But
Trying
the
to say
Atheist?
atheists,
no religion, but
or what is called non-believers,
you say non-religious.
Agnostic.
agnostic. Okay, so there are many nice person in agnostics, right? Naturally, they are innately they are a nice person, very compassionate. Even they're not to they follow any there, but it's not really many. It's rare. Majority is like just follow whatever their thoughts in regular, and their thought 99% is associating with the mental afflictions, and that's that always goes the wrong directions, and that's not how we bringing suffering in our daily life, right? So anyhow, so those when you use you use the word shameless, please think that what I'm using for it and then determine it is really shame or not shame, right? So therefore, like just fraud is not shame actually for not shameless for me, right? So it is because of sick. Um, uh, you know, uh, I cannot say the naked is shameless or not, but we're born with the naked, we go with the naked, and then we treat hospital in the naked. We are willing to do that. We are accepted to do that. But yeah, so this is complicated things, really complicated things. So because it's harms, it's like many people, it goes naked in the market, it harms to many people. They're unhappy with it, right? So as it's harms, then even it's natural, we should like therefore we wear the cloth, right? So wearing cloth is shame, right? Right, because we concerning others and then concerning yourself, therefore we wear clothes. So one time I did we have the teenagers Tibetan group here come for retreat, and then exactly topic I'm talking it. So then I demonstrate to them to what is the shameless or what's the shameful, right? So then I took in my first cloth right off. What do you feel it? And there's I'm okay. I have inside this tin, right? What do you call it? Tin? Oh, anyhow, very short. And then finally, I took all my top one. There's what do you feel? What do you feel? So I feel awful. They said it. Okay, I'm wearing this for you. That's shameful. That's shameful. You should do others. Because it's hard weather. That's my wish. My wish, I want to take off because it's hot, right? But I cannot follow my wish. Therefore, I have to be patient with it, the hard weather. If still I'm wearing that, it's a shame. So that's how we respect to you, right? So that's the example you can do for others, right? So yeah. Any other question? Okay, this is one of the richest, the noble richest quality we counted, which is very useful in our daily life, necessary needed, and then always needed, right? Until the end of life. It's like a food and house. Food we always need. The bread we always needed. So similarly, these qualities we always needed if you're really seeking the happiness, the peaceful life, and if you're really concerning the protect the world, then we need it. So beginning from ourselves, any moral contact, ethics practice, or with the shame and concerning others, beginning from yourself to be be an example for your children, be an example for your neighbor, be an example for your family, and then that is a better way to teach. Otherwise, if you not see your action, then they have 100 reasons that rejected what you thought, what you talked, right? So you are not following that. Why should follow it? Yeah, I think this is the best way to like inspire to others. Okay. Anyone question on online? So okay, then the next Sun see you in next Sunday. That's I'm going to complete this book. I think now only the wisdom is left over from this chapter, and then the second chapter is the another way is very short. I will complete that. Okay.
Thank you, Geshe.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, everyone. Oh, yes.
So next Sunday you should come.
I will be.
Then you will.
Yes, yeah.
Really